Hey fam, I hope everyone's having a nice start to the week. Let's get in and see, let's tap in and see what collective messages source has for us. Just figure out what cards to use. We have a full moon coming up at the end of the week as well, on Saturday, Sunday morning. So I'm just going to use these or set cards to start off for us. Source, Spirit, what guidance you have for us, the collective, this week. Awesome. We have Sekhmet, change and healing. I had actually been feeling this energy around for myself this week. Sekhmet is an amazing, amazing protector. She is a Neteru, so that is an ancient Egyptian force of nature, deity, god. She is really heavily associated with Ra, so the sun. I think being a child of Ra, if I'm not mistaken. And the story around Sekhmet is that she was actually, I think, a child of Ra and went out into, I think it was the earth or wherever Source or Ra was sending her. But she was actually enveloped in a lot of rage and a lot of anger because things weren't going in alignment, or things weren't, don't know if it was humans, but I think humans were not, or whoever it was, wasn't listening to what Source or Ra was trying to bring into alignment. So there was a lot of rage that Sekhmet was birthed with, which actually transmuted into healing energy. And so Sekhmet teaches us to transmute our anger, our rage, the things that we feel injustice about, and those things that are tied to our passions, and transmute that into change and healing for us and for those around us. Sekhmet also keeps us protected from unhealthy or toxic ways of thinking, patterns, habits, people in our past as well. So heavily associated with the sun, I guess, can be in alignment with so-called masculine energy. So that really would be the energy of giving rather than being in receiving. Very like action orientated. Yeah, so I feel like with this card for us this week, sources, I hear like really wanting us to reflect on our boundaries in regards to, I guess because Sekhmet is related to like clearing, balancing that rage, anger, aggression, whatever's sitting in those like lower chakras or lower energy centers. So your sacral, I guess that would be this color, that more yellowy, that orange I think it is, and then going lower would be the red. I'm even seeing the solar plexus as well. So yellow, orange, red, I guess in regards to colors and tones and stuff this week. If you gravitate towards colors, those might be helpful colors to be around. I actually feel like I'm supposed to read this part of the book and just take it how it resonates. If you don't really resonate with like deities and gods, you can still just take the message from this anyway. So this fire goddess is the daughter of Ra, the sun god, and as the Eye of Ra, she followed directions from him to take terrible revenge on humans for not respecting his authority as he aged. Ra then had to stop her to save humanity, and overnight, with the assistance of Jehuti, Jehuti is the holder of the Akashic records. So that is like all our souls, memories, apparently are within these records. And Jehuti is someone that is a deity, a force of nature that guards those records, which are connected to our memory, past lives, the things that our soul has done with, like, outside of this life, etc. So with the assistance of Jehuti, she became a powerful healing goddess instead. All the priests of Sekhmet were powerful spiritual healers, and many black granite statues of Sekhmet assisted them in their work. Channeled message from Sekhmet. I come to you as I stand in my chapel at Karnak Temple. My energy resides in my many statues through the ceremony of intention called opening the mouth, so know I still exist. Many changes are coming to you. Some will be wonderful and some will be hard, but all will bring positive spiritual growth. Invoke me and call for me and see me as in my image standing behind you, and you will always be spiritually protected. Keep me as your ally when you need more personal power, and do not be scared of me or your own powers. Yeah, Sekhmet is super, super powerful, and I think this week it's really important for us to not be afraid of our rage or aggression. It's also Aries season, so there is a lot of fiery energy coming up. So I guess it's an opportunity for us to take advantage of the things that are coming up that are annoying us, that are making us angry, or even just fiery. And this can even lean into our creative work or the things that we're passionate about, the people that we're passionate about, in a more of a positive way as well, and looking at why we're passionate about those things. So if we're feeling fiery or passionate about someone or a creative project, just observing those energies as well. But yeah, I definitely am hearing boundaries are really important when it comes to, guess, how we express those parts of ourselves. And if any of us are needing protection from anyone or anything or any energy, Spirit is really offering that support for us this week, as well as the seasons. So really calling on that fiery energy to protect us. If you're into spell work or lighting your candles and stuff like that, it's a good time to do that, because that connection to fire. Even spending time in the sun is really, really important this week, it looks like, as well, to recharge and refuel and cleanse ourselves of stale or negative energy as well. Like I said before, it's not just about external things that are toxic or unhealthy. It's also looking at our insides and looking at ourselves on the inside and looking at where we potentially have been imbalanced and how we can bring a little bit more balance to those things. And if you do work with Sekhmet, she's around. So I really encourage that. Ooh, another card just fell out. Yeah, we have set challenges. So again, this is just really referring to there may be some things that we will potentially be moving through that might be quite challenging. Look, it's a lot of like sun, fiery energy. It's also important for us to stay hydrated this week. That also might be something that makes things a little bit harder if we're feeling a little bit dehydrated. So drink lots of water or fluids, be close to water. Yeah, and I feel like through these challenges, there's definitely, it might just feel a little bit dry at the moment, but Set also really speaks on resistance. And I'm feeling to read something from a book I have, but now I don't know where that book is. But Set really speaks on challenges and resistance. So that can be our inner resistance or resistance that's coming from external sources. Okay. Source Spirit. Source Spirit, what guidance do you have for us, the collective, this week? Source Spirit, what guidance do you have for us, the collective, this week? Cool, we have the Sun at the base of the deck. And we have Karma and 5 of Water. Yeah, so some of us might be struggling emotionally this week, or going through a lot waves, or feeling a little bit unstable, or there might be like some big changes within our emotions. But I feel like these are deaths that are actually meant to be occurring. So again, like I always say, just like let that wash over you. I feel like Source is saying some of these ending. So some people might be going through, to be honest, this does mean like an ending of a connection. Some people might be going through some sort of breakup or ending of a connection, or but this is actually quite balanced. So whatever is kind of ending emotionally within your life, it doesn't even need to be in regards to another person. This could even just be a way of, I was going to say a way of thinking, or an emotional contract that we've made with self. It's interesting because the full moon coming up is in Libra, and this card reminds me of those scales of justice and scales, which Libra is about, keeping that balance within the light and shadow, giving and receiving, past, present, future, like all those things. Libra advocates for fairness and balance within. And so I feel like whatever changes or things are ending, or even potentially like some shittier feeling emotions that are coming through this week, they're meant to come up to restore balance. So it's important for us to go through those waves and change, and let whatever needs to be released, and transform within those emotions and some of these endings that potentially some of us are going through. I'm not sure if I said before, but I think yeah, some of these endings could just be occurring internally and not actually have to do with someone else. And it's really beautiful because the Sun was at the base of the deck, which is the foundation of these two cards. And so Source is saying that whatever it is that we are moving to create balance or fairness within, there is success within that. Even if it doesn't quite feel like successful or feels challenging to move through certain changes, and maybe there's anxiety or worries and pressures surrounding that as well. And some of us may need to look at past trauma or go into like wounds, or even I'm seeing ways in which we potentially feel rejected, because 5 of Water can also be a feeling of emotional rejection. So maybe some of us are feeling that kind of thing this week, or those kinds of things from the past are coming up. But there's the Sun here, so regardless of that, regardless of the feelings that we might be passing through, or the shifts that might be taking place, there is this success and balance and life. And I feel like our life force, as we allow these things to shift and move through us, to restore some, for lack of a better word, karmic balance, or just balance from things that have happened in the past, and clear those cycles and timelines, we're really going to be successful and feel a little bit more positive and more radiant. Even some of us may, I was going to say feel a little bit more seen, but I think I mean come out of our shell a little bit, or allow ourselves to be a little bit more seen within our creativity, within our that so-called masculine energy. So that giving out in action, But there does look like this week there is, yeah, a real restoration of our life force if we allow it to. But some of us are going to have to look to the past and look at some things that we have gone through emotionally and what changes we have gone through and how we can move forward in that way. So yeah, I think I will leave that there for this week. It's just to sum up again, we have Sekhmet and Set. So yeah, there may be some challenges, may be feeling a little bit dry or resistance or restricted this week, but it's important to know that we're protected. It's important for us to be, I guess, balanced. Yeah, and to allow Sekhmet to, or this kind of energy to transmute, and to allow ourselves to work through any challenges or fiery energy, however that's manifesting for us. Cool, I'll leave it there. Sending you all heaps of love.